Good afternoon, everyone, on this great Sunday afternoon. I thought I'd come to you real quick to say, don't you quit to quit. What do you mean, Trina? Don't you give up before you cross over. Don't you give up in this thing. Don't you allow people to not let you take off for where you're supposed to take off at. You already know what you're supposed to take off in. You already know what the vision that God has shown you. You already know what you're supposed to do in this next. Don't you allow people to let you not take off in this season. What or who is holding you back from taking off in this season? Because this is supposed to be your takeoff season, right? Don't you allow people to not let you take off in this season. Listen, people didn't give it to you and people can't take it. Don't you quit to quit in this season because of somebody else. Don't you quit to quit in this season because this happened or that happened. Don't you give up on God in this season. Don't you give up on what God has called you to do in this season. Listen, sometimes we need to just tell God, God paved the way. Pave the way so I can step into my next. Pave the way so I can step into my now. Because listen, your now is next. Your next is now. Your next is now. Say it with me. My next is now. No longer will I have to wait, because the Bible tells us that. I think it's in Isaiah that he goes before us and he paves the way and he make every crooked way straight, right? So sometimes we need to tell God, God, please go before me. Sometimes we need to remind him of his scriptures and we need to repeat it back to him. We need to say, God, you said in your word that you'll go before us and make every crooked way straight. So God, I'm leaning and depending on you to go before me and make every crooked way straight. Because, see, he already went before us and did everything he needed to do. All we got to do is step into the tracks that he called us to step into. Don't you quit to quit in this season. Don't you quit to quit in this season. God will allow the outset for a reset. God would allow the outset. What do you mean by that, Trina? Sometimes God allow things to seem like they're off. Allow things to seem like, wait a minute, what is going on here? For the reset. To not only for the reset, but to realign you back to where he wants you to be. Because sometimes we can do our own thing and begin to do our own thing and begin to do things that God never said. So sometimes we'll be going on this journey of what God called us to do, and then something will deter us. So God will allow that outset to reset you back, to realign you back to where you needed to be. Don't you quit in this season. See, there's something that's coming after this. There's greater after this. There's more after this. See, I think sometimes in the Bible, a lot of times in the Bible where they will have some different scenarios will begin to happen in the Bible, right? But there will be after this, or there'll be a but. That means the story is turning around for you. Victory shall be yours in this season. Don't you quit to quit in this season. Listen, victory needs no announcement. It needs no announcement that you're coming. It needs no announcement that it happened for you. Victory needs no announcement. Don't you quit in this season. It's yours for the taking after this.